Yeah, this is a great match. Rhea dominated as she should. This kind of reminded me why I like Rhea Ripley so much. And Ransom gets an 8.5 and Logic to 7.
These guys beat the fucking crap out of each other. My God. I watched this match twice. One of the times I had to take notes for this match. There was just so...
Lost the North American Championship before challenging for the NXT Championship, because that's the way logic works.
Lose again.
Tony Khan said himself, who cares about the rules?
But we care about the fucking rules because this is Life's Opening Radio Road Break. This is all about rules.
Yeah.
Let's open Radio Road Break.
Hey guys, Kgabo again. Today we're back with another episode of Life's Opening Radio Road Break, and today we're gonna review AEW WrestleDream. And yeah, it's already looking like a good pay-per-view, actually. And yeah, but first we're gonna talk about a couple of things and maybe review a match that I watched actually a couple weeks ago, because that review for that match was gonna be on the All Out review, but that has been cancelled, so I'm doing it here now. And yeah, apparently Nia Jax came back on Raw a couple weeks ago, and yeah, I'm not happy about this. She shouldn't be in this company. I don't know why they hired her. I don't know why Triple H brought her back. She should not be here. She's, starting to feud with Rhea Ripley, even though she's busy with Raquel Rodriguez still. And the wrestler, by the way, not the singer. Yeah, she just doesn't need to be in this company. And Ben has already talked about this on the latest roundup, and well, sort of Nia Jax's return. He vaguely talked about it, and I think it's good that he didn't go in depth about it, because we don't need to get cancelled on here. But yeah, I don't think Ben thinks that Nia Jax should come back.
Alright, so my thoughts on oh boy. Nia Jax is back on Monday Night Raw. Ladies and gentlemen, the less things change, the more they stay the same. Holy cow. I did not expect Nia Jax to show up on Monday Night Raw. That's number one. Number two, Monday Night Raw got one of its lowest ratings all year. Got a 1.3 in the ratings. That's all you need to know. Wait till I get to the Raw roundups on my true entire thoughts about the rest of that show. Wait till the roundups, because Raw is, my God, unbelievably, Raw is unwatchable television. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm not saying it's good either. But it is truly unwatchable television. How can anyone sit up here, watch a show for 3 hours, and then you realize Nia Jax just came back on your television? Oh man, I don't know. I don't know anymore. I really don't. We'll talk about it on the roundups, bro. I can't. I'll wait till the roundups for, whatever I think about Nia Jax or whatever the case may be.
But anyway, Ben has talked about most of the stuff that I'm talking about right now. So yeah, y'all don't need to worry about that. What else happened on this? A whole bunch of people got released. Among them was Dolph Ziggler. Who else got released? Dolph Ziggler is the only name I can think of right now. Matt Riddle also got released, but we will talk more about him. But yeah, I hope these guys can find work somewhere and that they can do it to the best of their abilities. We wish them luck, all of us here at Life's Opening Radio Rope Break. And so that's not nice for them to be released from WWE. And another person who's been released is Matt Riddle. The WWE has finally had enough of him. Honestly, I think it's kind of good that he's been released, because he wasn't doing anything anyway. And besides that, he's got whole drama of his own. He was drunk at the airport. He was acting up like a fool. And he's got all these rape and sexual assault allegations. And honestly, with that, it's good that he's gone. Because at least that's some justice for the women that he has mistreated. That's my thoughts on that. And by the way, I forgot to talk about this almost. Kairi Sane is rumored to come back to the WWE. I'm not sure if they're gonna use her to her full potential. I hope so. I kind of liked her in New Japan, regardless, I wish her luck. Who am I to tell her where to go and where not to go? I'm not her dad or anything. So she can go where she wants anyway. I wish her the best of luck. And then
next thing, Kairi Sane is coming back to the WWE. Great, because Kairi Sane needs something to do. And I feel like she should have never been fired to begin with, but that's because really Vince didn't like her to begin with. And I feel like Vince never valued her wrestling skills, because Kairi Sane is very good in the ring. It's not that. It's just that she needs someone that can talk for her. She needs a manager. That's exactly what she needs, a damn manager, because she does not need... I'm not saying she shouldn't cut promos, but I mean, her mic skills is like, she talks in Japanese, right? So someone needs a manager, someone who can also speak English and Japanese at the same time. That way people can understand Kairi Sane. I'm not mad at this at all, and I'm glad Kairi Sane is going to come back to the WWE.
And I forgot to mention this. I only remembered this because of this match I'm about to review, which I'm kind of speaking in future terms, because this is going before with all the other news. Jade Cargill has signed with the WWE, so that's quite interesting. She's at she's training at the Performance Center, and I don't know. Apparently, she's gonna go straight to the main roster. Even though some people want her in NXT. I don't know. We'll see how that goes. So Ben, you can give your thoughts on that.
Okay, my thoughts on Jade Cargill going to the WWE. I don't really have a lot of thoughts towards Jade Cargill at this time, really, because there's not much I can say about her. I still think she's terrible in the ring. There's not much I can say about Jade Cargill I haven't already said for the last year and a half now. It's just the fact that people are thinking that Jade Cargill is going to improve the WWE Women's Division. The WWE Women's Division is fucking horrible. Have y'all watched Raw lately? The women's division over there on Raw, almost completely non-existent. There are 4 women on every show for Monday Night Raw. 4. But she's going to improve the women's division when Jade Cargill goes to the main roster. And there's a lot of rumors about her skipping NXT. No, she needs NXT. I don't know what the hell are y'all talking about, but she needs NXT. You people are out of your goddamn mind. Jade Cargill needs to go to NXT, bro. And keep training, please. That's all I got on that. So that's my thoughts on Jade Cargill.
I think that's it for the news. I was thinking of something else, also I did see that the TKO thing happened. That's gonna be interesting. And that's basically all the news.
Okay, so the WWE and the UFC have merged into their own separate entities. I think it's called TKO Holdings Incorporated. So it's not necessarily a merger between the two brands, even though like if it was a merger between the two brands, they would be like on different shows, like UFC to WWE and stuff like that. But I think they're under the same entity. I think it's going to be under TKO Holdings Incorporated. Um, they announced this back on Wednesday, so this is going to be a very interesting merger between the two. Also, Vince McMahon is executive chairman of TKO Holdings now. All that matters to me really is just that I don't want Vince McMahon to be influencing WWE and UFC. That we do not need that. We do not need a 77-year-old man still writing in the shadows for WWE. That's not what we want. That's not what we need. No, that's not what we need. I am interested to see where this goes. I believe Dana White was UFC CEO at one point, and no, he was president at one point. Then he got removed as president, and then he made into CEO. So I'm trying to figure out how will this work. Like, I get UFC, they need the money, and stuff like that. That's fine. But again, I'm just interested to see where this goes. I just don't want crossovers between WWE and UFC because that's not exactly what we need. And I mean, that's the least of our concerns. Meanwhile, Monday Night Raw got one of its lowest ratings all goddamn year, and people want UFC to be in WWE again. No, that's not happening. No way. Just no. But other than that, I don't mind this merger at all.
And yeah, Ben has already talked about most of this stuff, so I'll just slot them in if you haven't already heard them. And yeah, what am I gonna do now? Oh yeah, I'm gonna review a match from NXT on the 12th of September. This is for the NXT Women's Championship. This is between Tiffany Stratton, the champion, and Becky Lynch. And by the way, I think we both owe Tiffany Stratton an apology for that match, because that match was actually really good. They started the match, they stared each other down. The people chanted to Becky, welcome home, because she's now back in NXT after so long. They locked up, got a rope break. Tiffany taunted, they lock up again. Tiffany kicked Becky. She put in a side headlock, she hit the ropes, and then did a shoulder tackle. She did a cartwheel over Becky, and then she taunted. She ducked a clothesline, she did a leg sweep, went for the pin, got a 1 count. Becky wagged a finger, and actually she slid out from the cover, like she stood up. That takes massive core strength. Not many people can do that. So yeah, that was quite cool. She does a cartwheel over Tiffany, to mock her. She taunted. Tiffany tried to do a leapfrog, but then Becky caught the leg and took her down. She went for disarm her. Tiffany blocked it. Tiffany was arrogant throughout this match, which I liked, which I enjoyed. They locked up again. Tiffany did a knee to the midsection. She did a clubbing blow to the back. She roughed up Becky. She threw Becky into the ropes, and then Becky punched her. Tiffany draped her over the ropes, and then Becky was on the apron. Did a gourd bust on the ropes, and then Becky landed up on the apron. She hip attacked Becky off the apron. Get your mind out together. They went to the break, and in picture, they fought at the outside. They got back in the ring. Tiffany did kicks at the corner. She roughed up Becky some more, and then she was, throughout this match, she was showing Becky what's up in this brand. This is my brand. You come in here and invade my territory, you better be prepared for so I like that. That's very good. Becky makes a brief comeback. Tiffany caught a Hurricane Runner. She did a spine buster for a 2 count. She put in the abdominal stretch, and Becky escaped. Becky did a roll up for a 1 count. Becky did a boot in the corner. We got back from the break. Becky made a comeback. She did a top rope drop kick for a 2 count. She went for the disarm her, but then Tiffany rolled her up for a 2 count. Tiffany Stratton did a pop-up sit-out powerbomb for a near fall. They replayed that spot. Tiffany went for the prettiest moonsault ever. Becky blocked it. They had a struggle at the corner. Becky threw some punches at the turnbuckle, where they go like, and she punches down like that. What is this? Becky goes for a superplex, but then Tiffany fought out of it. Tiffany did a swanton bomb for a near fall. They replayed that spot. Becky did a double underhook slam / suplex. She put in the armbar, and that got a big reaction. Tiffany tried to escape with a power bomb, but then Becky Lynch hit a Hurricane Runner. Becky went for the pin, got a 2 count. Tiffany draped Becky on the 2nd rope. She hip attacked her. She did a basement double foot stomp for a 2 count. They laid down selling. Tiffany went for the manhandle slam, but Becky blocked it. Tiffany did a boot in the corner. She went for the prettiest moonsault ever. Becky countered with a 2nd rope Russian leg sweep. She went for the pin, got a near fall. They laid down selling. The people chanted NXT, NXT. Tiffany retreated to ringside. They fought at ringside. Tiffany tried to powerbomb Becky onto the announce desk. Becky hung onto the barricade. She stood there like it's that episode of SmackDown in 2018. She did a leg drop on the announce desk, but the desk didn't break. They got back in the ring. She did a leg drop, got a very near fall. She put in the disarmer. The people trying to tap. Tiffany got a rope break. Becky was trying to hang on to the disarmer. Tiffany Stratton powered her up. I'm sorry. She dumped her on the apron. She charged at Becky. Becky caught her with a kick. She did another kick. Becky did. She missed a top rope move. Tiffany hit a sit-out power bomb for a near fall. They laid down selling. The people chanted Becky, Becky, and then they chanted "This is awesome," which it indeed was. Tiffany Stratton frustratedly slapped Becky Lynch. They had a 1-2 exchange. Tiffany countered a manhandle slam with a roll-up for a 2 count. She missed the prettiest moonsault ever. And then Becky hit the manhandle slam for the win. And she is the new NXT Women's Champion. They had another match at No Mercy this past weekend, but we don't watch NXT, so that wasn't enough to get me to care about that. As I said there, I wrote there, I owe Tiffany Stratton an apology for my prejudice comment, for mine and Ben's prejudice comments about her when she was on Payback, and we didn't like her Tiffany Stratton asserted herself. She didn't look like a chump having lost. And I think she gained more than Becky in this match. And this was a fantastic match and the crowd was behind it. I gave Raston a 9 and Logic a 9. Great match. And Ben will give his thoughts on this match.
On NXT, Becky Lynch, your new women's champion over there on NXT. Some people are very mixed about this Becky Lynch winning the women's title, and I'll be honest with y'all, I mean, I never really imagined Becky Lynch going back to NXT, though. I mean, I'm glad that Tiffany Stratton got a pretty solid match out of Becky Lynch. Don't get me wrong, no disrespect, but it's just, I'm very mixed about it, considering I saw it yesterday and stuff like that. I'm very mixed about it. I have some conflicting feelings about it necessarily, and maybe that's normal for some of you and maybe for all of us as well. But again, I'm just kind of trying to see where they're going with this Becky Lynch angle that she wins the women's title and all that stuff. I'm like, is she trying to elevate the women over there on NXT? Is she trying to put all the NXT women over? I'm trying to figure all of this out, but right now it's very conflicting for me. I mean, I like it, but I also kind of don't at the same time. So it's pretty much a seesaw right there. But other than that, I don't mind this at all. Tiffany Stratton, I don't think she's ready, though. A lot of people are saying Tiffany Stratton is ready to be on the main roster. No, she's not. No way. She needs more time, bro. She needs more time. I get why they put the NXT women's title on her, but she needs more time. She needs more time. She just does. I'm not saying she shouldn't debut at the Royal Rumble or anything like that. I'm just saying she just needs more time, bro. That's all I'm saying. But other than that, I don't mind this at all.
This episode of Rope Break is interrupted to advertise Life's Open Radio certified bangers, a roller coaster of music consisting of drum and bass, indie pop, pop and R&B, soundtracks, and anything else that comes to Kgabo's mind, as well as world news and special guests. You can listen to Life's Opening Radio's certified bangers every Sunday afternoon on Spotify. Back to your regular scheduled programming. Okay, thank you, Ben, for that. Now we're finally gonna get to the review of AEW WrestleDream, which happened on the 1st of October, yesterday for me, because I'm recording this on Monday the 2nd. By the way, today's the 4-year anniversary of AEW Dynamite, so they better be cooking a very good show this week. Cause yeah, for Ben's sake. I will not get into that right now, but let's just get into this. This took place at the Climate Pledge Arena, the most sustainable arena in the world, it says. I saw a wrestler's Instagram story. I think it was Saraya. She was walking into the stadium, and there it said Climate Pledge Arena, the most sustainable arena in the world. And this is in Seattle, Washington. Oh man, some shit happened over there. If you listen to Certified Bangers, but I'll not get into that. Anyways, the first match on this card for the Ring of Honor World Tag Team Championships. In a 2-on-1 handicap match, AEW World Champion MJF, who's one half of the ROH Tag Team Champions, versus the Righteous, Vincent and Dutch. MJF actually cut a promo on these guys. He dispelled rumors that he attacked Jay White on AEW Dynamite. Jay White was attacked backstage by a bunch of masked men, and one of them had MJF's devil mask. So people suspected that it was MJF that attacked Jay White. MJF made it clear that he did not attack Jay White, and he called him Tofu. The people chanted Tofu, Tofu. And then something that also pissed him off on this show was that Adam Cole was not there to defend his belt. So it was MJF on his own. He called Dutch fat, you fat boy. And he says he's gonna body slam him, and then the people chanted body slam, body slam. And then he called Vincent, I think that's Vincent, white boy with dreads, and he said it's a very bold move for him to have that hairstyle. He will tie his hair in a nice little bow and shove it up Dutch's ass. So that's what he said, because his name is Maxwell Jacob Friedman. And then he handed the mic to the crowd, and they was like, "Big, and I'm better than you, and you know it." That's what they did. I didn't take notes for this match because I didn't care enough to take notes. But what I did like in this match is that Dutch hit a boss man slam, which I liked. That was a very nice move. And then MJF, as he said he would, he body slammed Dutch, and he shoved Vincent's hair up Dutch's ass, and he won the match. So great for him. This gets Rasson a 6 and Logic a 5. Ben, will you give your thoughts along with the full review?
All right, everyone. Our opening match of AEW WrestleDream 2023 was for the Ring of Honor World Tag Team titles. Maxwell Jacob Friedman, MJF, also the AEW World Champion, versus the Righteous, which is Vincent with the long hair and Dutch, the big tall guy. I did not write a lot of notes down for this match because, number one, this should have not opened the show. Number two, Bryce Remsburg was your fucking referee for this match. An immediate $500 fine for Bryce Remsburg, just by the name of him being mentioned alone. Automatic fine. There was not a lot of intrigue for me in this match because I do feel like MJF could have been... Like, I get that they didn't want to have MJF not be on the show, but MJF could have fought somebody else. I would have been fine if MJF fought for the world championship instead of having them fight on Ring of Honor. Like, I get that people watch Ring of Honor, but this should have not opened the show. This should have not opened the show. Really. This was more of a random match just put on the show just so we can have MJF on the show. I'm gonna cliff note what happened. I didn't write down a lot of notes for this match because I didn't care about this match whatsoever. Goddamn ever. Vincent did a flatliner at one point. Vincent did mock Adam Cole in this match, which I thought was cool. So he got some boos. MJF tries for the body slam. Dutch falls on him for a 2 count. Vincent at one point did a spinning cutter at one point, which I thought was the best move on this in this entire match. There you go. Vincent grabbed a chair. He tried to Pillmanize MJF. He tried to stomp on the chair with MJF's neck around the chair. But MJF then grabs his lower extremities, and then MJF pretends that he is, out. So he catches Vincent with the chair. MJF fools him. Surprise roller for a 2 count, and then MJF does a comeback. He does a body slam on Dutch, and Vincent then gets fate. MJF put his face in Dutch's behind. Pause. That's exactly what happened. Don't come at me. MJF does the kangaroo kick on both the Righteous. So the Righteous not only got buried, they got buried alive in this entire match because they cannot beat one man on their own. That's a tag team. They cannot beat one man. Anyway, MJF does the Heat Seeker, which is the apron power driver on Dutch for the 1-2-3 with his foot on the ropes. So Bryce Remsburg, another $100 fine. That is a $600 fine, all within one match. Bryce Remsburg needs to go away. Get off my fucking television. I'm saying this one time and one time only. Holy crap. I cannot stand this man. Him and Rick Knox are on my #1 list of worst referees ever. Ever. And Rick Knox refereed 3 matches on this show. That's enough. Alright, I gave this match a 5. Logical 1. I didn't care about this match. Plus, this should have not opened the show. No disrespect to the Righteous whatsoever. But this should have not opened the show. I get that MJF needed to be on the show, but I would have been fine with MJF fighting for the world title, defending his world title, because he hasn't defended it since All In. So, yeah. I mean, no, excuse me, not All In. Dynamite Grand Slam. Excuse me. I had to correct myself on that one. But, yeah. There you go. That was the match.
Thank you, thank you, Ben, for that review. And now we're gonna go to the next match for the ROH World Championship and the New Japan Strong Openweight Championship. Eddie Kingston, the champion, versus Ring of Honor Pure Champion Katsuyori Shibata. By the way, there was a New Japan ref in this match, and I was thinking, is this under New Japan rules or something? I don't know. They locked up. Eddie did a chop. He did another one, and Shibata was just absorbing them, which I kind of didn't like. I thought that's kind of goofy. And then Shibata does a snapmare and then a PK. He chops Eddie, but then he absorbs them. He does a PK for a 2 count. Shibata goes for the armbar. Eddie gets a rope break. Shibata puts in the ankle lock. Eddie gets a rope break again. Shibata is going for the figure 4, but then Eddie is trying to block it. Eddie put in got a rope break. Shibata put in the bow and arrow, and he put in a side headlock. Then Eddie broke it with a backdrop driver, which was cool. He did a clothesline in the corner. He threw machine gun chops where he does that. I kind of don't like that because it's, but whatever. He does one big chop at the corner. He tries to do a hammer throw, but then Shibata reverses, throws him into the corner, and gives him a kick in the corner. Then he did a basement drop kick in the corner, which was cool. They replayed that spot. Shibata hit a snap suplex for a 2 count. He threw Kawada kicks to no effect. Eddie threw some chops. Shibata hit the ropes and did a high boot to no effect. Shibata hit the Shibata hit the ropes and did a high boot to no effect. And then Eddie hit the ropes when he was hit. Then he did a clothesline to no effect. Then Shibata hit the ropes when he got hit and did a high boot again. I didn't really like that sequence. That was also quite goofy. They both fall to their knees and sell. Eddie hits an exploder. Shibata does a back leg sweep. Taz had another name for it, but it was in Japanese, it was kind of complicated. It was a judo move, actually. So I didn't really hear that clearly, so that I could write it down. They replayed that spot, the exploder and the back leg sweep. They laid down selling. Shibata did Kawada kicks to the chest. He did a PK. Eddie missed a ripcord clothesline. Shibata did an open hand chop. Shibata did a cobra twist, put in the cobra twist. Then he switched to the flying octopus. Eddie was fading. He got a rope break. Shibata did forearms. They exchanged back fists. Shibata did a PK, which was nice. They laid down selling. They had an actually good 1-2. Eddie did a back fist. That's not exactly what it's called. I didn't really hear what they called it. Then he hit a Northern Lights bomb for a 2 count. That was really cool. He did a back fist and a power bomb for the win. So yeah, that was cool, quite cool. They showed respect to each other after that. Yeah, this is a pretty good match. It got a bit goofy at times, as I mentioned, but it was still a good match. I gave Rassin an 8 and Logic a 5. So Ben, on with your thoughts.
All right, my thoughts on Eddie Kingston versus Katsuyori Shibata for the Ring of Honor World Championship and the New Japan Strong Openweight Championship. This match was great. I ain't got nothing to say about this match other than the fact that this match was excellent. Excellent stuff between these two guys. I'm not surprised that this match was hard-hitting. I'm not surprised that they were very physical with each other. And I'm not surprised that this match went as long as it did. I feel like this match went about 12 minutes. I mean, it was a glorious 12 minutes. I don't really have anything much to say except this match was great. I feel like this match should have opened the show, though. Like, if we were going to not have MJF defend the AEW World Championship against someone who obviously has a lot more prestige, someone who is great in the ring, and, you know, I mean, MJF could have defended it against Will Ospreay. I would have been fine with that, but Will Ospreay's in the Don Callis family all of a sudden, as if Will Ospreay does not have a faction of his own called the United Empire. Apparently, Will Ospreay must have been fucking, he must have dementia or some shit, because he owns the United Empire. He's the king over there. But all of a sudden, he's in the Don Callis family. I get that he's associated with Don Callis, but that does not mean he's a part of the damn family. That's like saying one of your friends is your cousin, but he's not really your cousin. What? That make no goddamn sense. And you know it don't make no sense. So I would have been fine with MJF and Ospreay opening the show. Or MJF versus somebody from, maybe not from New Japan, but I would say MJF versus someone who has been fighting for the world title to trying to get a shot at the AEW world title. It can't be Samoa Joe again, I can tell you that. But I will say this, it could have been somebody else. But there you go. I gave this match a 8. I thought this was pretty cool. This was not the best match on the show, though. But I gave this match an 8. Logic, I gave it a 5. That's the best I can give for this match, to be honest with you. Yeah, good match. Not much I can complain about. Not much I can say. But, man, they beat the hell out of each other, and it was awesome. Thumbs up for me.
Thank you, Ben. And now we're going to go to this next match for the AEW TBS Championship. Kris Statlander, the champion, versus Julia Hart, who came out with Brody King. They started the match. They locked up. Kris roughed up Julia in the corner. She missed a knee in the corner. Julia did a thrust kick. Kris did 2 shoulder tackles for a 2 count. Julia rolled her up for a 2 count. She did a thrust kick and a back elbow. She hit the ropes, but then Kris caught her. she put her in the electric chair and then switched position and went for the power bomb, but then who's it? Julia gave her a Hurricane Rana. She charged at Kris Statlander in the corner, but then Kris caught her. Kris did a suplex, then Julia retreated to ringside. They fought at ringside. They got back in the ring. Julia was throwing Kris Statlander against the barricade, and yeah, that was that. They got back in the ring. Julia went for the pin, got a 2 count, and then she was smashing Kris's head into the canvas because, you know, she was mad. And then she did a senton she slammed her knees into Kris Statlander. You know, when Shinsuke Nakamura does that on WWE, that's what Julia Hart did here. Kris tried to make a comeback. Julia put in the abdominal stretch, which actually damaged Kris Statlander quite a bit. Kris Statlander escaped with a hip toss. She slapped Julia. They had a nice 1-2. Kris did a power slam. She couldn't pin because of her her bad abdomen. She did uppercuts in the corner. She went for knees in the corner. She did a knee in the corner. She did a blue thunder bomb in the not in the corner for a 2 count. Brody was talking shit. Julia tried to spit the mist from behind, but Kris countered with a punch. Kris Statlander did a modified Falcon Arrow. It looked like that. I don't know if it had another name, but she did that for a near fall. She did a deadlift German. She climbed up the turnbuckle. Julia tried to stop her. They struggled at the top turnbuckle, and then Julia held. It was kind of it was more of like a belly suplex. Yeah, it was a belly to belly suplex off the turnbuckle, and then creepily Julia hung in the tree of woe, and that was quite creepy. And then she went for the moonsault, but then Kris Statlander tried to stop her. Julia kicked her away, and then she finally hit the moonsault, went for the pin, but then Kris Statlander got a rope break. Julia was frustrated, like, she went for the Heartless submission hold, but then who's it? Kris Statlander tried to counter and put in the fireman's carry, but then that bad abdomen gave out. Julia went for Heartless again, but then Kris Statlander escaped with a tombstone, and then she hit Sunday night Fever for the win. This was a decent match. I gave this Rassen a 7 and Logic a 6. Yeah, this is okay. This went long enough. I'm actually not mad that this didn't go longer, because at least it's not the top woman that's getting short-handed like this. But yeah, that was good. So anyway, Ben, you can give your thoughts on this match.
All right, my thoughts on Kris Statlander versus Julia Hart for the TBS Championship. There was a lot of decent build for this match, so I'm actually surprised that not only that they got some spotlight, but also because, hey, they got some build for this match, which is great. I have no complaints about this at all. I do feel like Julia Hart, she's improving. She is growing on a lot of people. I believe Julia Hart is over. Like, legitimately over. As a character, maybe not as a wrestler, but as a character, she's over. She has the entrance, the look, the demeanor, the cadence. Like, she has come into her own, man. She's 22. She doesn't need to win the title. You know, not yet. But man, it will be really awesome if she won the title later down the line. She can beat Kris Statlander down the line. Probably at like somewhere around Revolution. Maybe not Revolution, but maybe like, well, they want to give Statlander a good title run. So I will say Revolution. Yeah, I will say Revolution. I will say this, however. This match is sleeper match of the night. Go watch this match. This match was pretty solid for a big time with a decent build. This was a solid match. I have no complaints about this match whatsoever. No complaints at all. This was great. Julia Hart, she slipped on a couple of spots. Julia Hart did mess up. But at the end of the day, at least she got that spotlight. At least she looked pretty solid in the ring. So I will say that. And there you go. Kris Statlander, Julia Hart. I gave this match a 6.5. Logic, I gave it a 5. I thought this match was pretty solid. This did need to be on the show, and this had build for it. So people cannot say that this did not have any kind of build. Julia Hart doesn't have any kind of momentum because she does have momentum. And plus, she's over now. The House of Black is over. People don't believe the House of Black is over. They're over. They're popular. They're really popular. And they should be because they deserve it. So there you go. Good match. Not much I can say about this match except Kris Statlander looked pretty good and Julia Hart looked pretty good in this match. They worked really well together in this match. So not much I can say about this. Another thumbs up for me. Sleeper match of the night. Right here. This match. Our next match after was Young Bucks versus the Gunns versus Hook and Orange Cassidy versus the Lucha Bros. I got to do my still employed. The Young Bucks both are still employed. The Gunns are both still employed. Hook, unfortunately, is in this match. And why the fuck is Orange Cassidy and Hook a tag team? I don't fucking know. I don't fucking care. Orange Cassidy, get off my fucking TV. Still employed. Paul Turner was your referee. Another $100 fine for Paul Turner. Get him the fuck out of here. This match sucked. This shit sucked. I know why the Young Bucks won. I know they want another match with the Young Bucks and FTR. They want a match, so they're number one contenders for the tag team titles. Again, the Young Bucks versus Young Bucks versus FTR. The winner will fight for the AEW World Tag Team titles. I do not want to see Young Bucks FTR 4. I'm telling y'all that right now. No, thank you. No way. FTR beat these men twice. Clean as a whistle. No complaints. No excuses. Some people are going to say they're going to fight for the Ring of Honor Tag Team titles when MJF is holding both belts. Essentially, both belts. I don't want to see a Young Bucks FTR 4. Yes, no rating for this match. Obviously, no rating. Because Paul Turner was your referee. Young Bucks won. A lot of shit happened, and it sucked. There was not a lot of order in this match. Who cares? And this match sucked. No rating. Not much I can say on this. No rating.
Okay, thank you, Ben, for that review. And if you didn't get that, I skipped the 4-way tag because I'm not wasting my time or my breath ranting about how shit that matchup is. Just looking at the names, I have no interest in that match whatsoever. So let's just go on to the next match, which was Swerve Strickland with the Mogul Embassy versus Hangman Adam Page. He is 1/3 of the Ring of Honor 6-man tag champs with the Young Bucks. If Ben didn't mention already. And then so they started. Washington is actually Swerve's home state, so the people were behind Swerve in this match. They locked up. Swerve did a shoulder tackle. Hangman did a big boot. He threw Swerve into the corner, gave him some chops. They switched positions. Swerve threw some chops. They switched again. Hangman did some kicks. He taunted. He shot Swerve into the corner. Swerve did a Hurricane Runner. He did a drop kick off the bottom rope for a 2 count, that was nice. Swerve roughed up Hangman. He did a snapmare. He did a second rope back elbow. He did a neck breaker. Hangman reversed the second one. he reversed a German. He did a high boot. Swerve hit the ropes and did an uppercut, and then when Hangman was hit, he backed up onto the ropes, and then he reversed a tilt-a-wall backbreaker, and then he hit Swerve with a fallaway slam. I didn't really like that. That was goofy. They did that, I think, 2 matches ago with Eddie and Shibata. I think that's what they did in that match. That was kind of goofy. They laid down selling. The people were booing Hangman. Hangman did a second rope clothesline. He missed a plancha. He did a powerbomb. He did a weird pop-up powerbomb onto the apron. The impact wasn't that hard. It was kind of like and then he powerbombed Swerve onto the barricade, and then he did an Orihara moonsault on him. They got back in the ring. Hangman did a Liger bomb for a near fall. They laid down selling. They replayed the Orihara and the Liger bomb. He did a dive, Hangman did. They fought at ringside. They got back in the ring. Hangman did a top rope clothesline, which was nice. He went for the pin, got a 2 count. They replayed that spot. They had a 1-2 exchange. Hangman did a rolling elbow, which was nice. Swerve did a thrust kick and then an enziguri, and then Hangman no-sold the enziguri. So that's getting a $50 fine. I don't like it when it's an enziguri. It's a kick to the head. You shouldn't. Is your head made out of steel or something? Like, damn it, man. It just completely dilutes that move when you no-sell it like that. No-sells dilute any move. Then Hangman did a deadlift German, and then Swerve did a flatliner, which was cool. He hit a brain buster for a 2 count. They laid down selling. They replayed that spot. Swerve did a chop in the corner. He countered a high boot with a backbreaker. Hangman went after Swerve's bad left hand. I don't know what happened that he injured his left hand. I forgot. I didn't really pay attention to that, so I'm sorry about that. They struggled at the turnbuckle. Hangman was halfway into the Tree of Woe, which what I mean by that, he was still hanging onto the top rope, like sitting in midair like that, and then Swerve gave him a double foot stomp, which looked cool. Looked really cool. Stomped his shoulders into the canvas, which was nice. He hit a house call for a near fall, and that was also cool. They replayed the double foot stomp and the house call. Hangman was on the apron. Swerve missed a double foot stomp. He countered a deadeye. He yanked Hangman into the ring post. He went for the pile driver on the steps. Hangman did a deadeye on the steps. They laid down selling, and then they replayed that spot. They got they got back in the ring because they were fighting on the outside. Hangman set up buckshot, but then Swerve was trying to stop it with kicks, multiple kicks. And they struggled at the apron, and then Hangman bit Swerve's bad hand. Swerve countered a back buckshot with a drop toe hold. Then he pulled his arm back and then stomped on his arm. That must have been quite painful. He stomps on his arm. As I said there, the medical staff came to tend to Hangman's injury, and then Swerve did a double foot stomp on the apron. He did a 450 on the bad arm for a near fall. Put in a cross arm breaker on the bad arm. And then Hangman got a rope break, and the crowd actually booed because they were cheering on Swerve the whole time. They replayed the double foot stomp on the apron. Swerve went for a JML driver. Hangman did a pin escape. Hangman did a spinning clothesline. Swerve countered a deadeye with a Jujigatami. Hangman escaped. He charged at Swerve. Swerve hit a German. He missed a double foot stomp. Hangman did a buckshot, but he couldn't cover because of his bad right arm. He went for the pin, but then Prince Nana caused a rope break. Then the Prince was ejected from the ring. The ref told him to get out of there. Hangman went to cuss him out. Hey, what the fuck, man? Why did you do that? And then he went for the buckshot again, but then Swerve nailed him with the Prince's crown. And then Swerve went for the pin, and he got a 2 count. And I'm like, what was the point then of Swerve hitting Hangman with the crown if Hangman's just gonna kick out? Cheating should be the last resort, and now, fuck's sake, that's a $250 fine right there for both of them. And honestly, Swerve should have won like 3 times by now. He does 2 house calls. I don't know why. That's a $50 fine. Then he hits a JML driver for the win. This was a really good match, don't get me wrong, but they did some stupid shit throughout, especially towards the end. But the crowd was behind it. They were behind Swerve. Swerve was over in this match, and the right man won in this match. So I gave Ratson an 8 and Logic a 3 because, you know, some of the dumb shit that they did in this match. But yeah, that was good. And now I'll give it to Ben to give his thoughts.
Okay, my thoughts on Swerve Strickland versus Hangman Adam Page. I'm going to tell you all this right now. This was the second best thing on the entire show. This was the second best match on this whole show. You remember when I said earlier that Eddie Kingston and Shibata had the third best match on this entire show? This was the second best match on this show. Excellent match between these two. Holy crap. I did not expect this match to be this good. I'll be honest. I thought Hangman Adam Page was going to beat up Swerve. Swerve was going to get some heat. But no, it was the exact opposite. It was the complete exact opposite. Swerve Strickland got cheered in his hometown. He's from Tacoma, but the show was in Seattle. So he's from his home state of Washington. Getting cheered like crazy. Dude. Yo. If Swerve Strickland does not turn babyface after this match, I don't know what to tell you. I'm not saying he should, but man, he got cheered like hell in this match. And it was awesome. This match was awesome. I feel like Hangman was not gonna win this match, to be honest with you. Like, no disrespect whatsoever, but I feel like Hangman Adam Page was gonna do something. Like, he was gonna do a lot of moves, really. But I did not expect this match to be really good between these two guys. There needs to be more Swerve Strickland matches with probably. I would love Swerve versus Kenny Omega. Like, there you go. Not much I can say about that match right there. Swerve and Kenny Omega, take all my money. Take all my money. Take every account out of, take every dollar out of my bank account with that match. Holy crap. My goodness. That would be a match of the year candidate right there. Swerve Strickland versus Kenny Omega. Match of the year candidate. I'm glad it wasn't on WrestleDream. I'm glad, actually. So, yeah, there you go. Good match between these two guys. I gave this match an 8.5. Logic, I gave it a 5. Good match. Very good match. Second best thing on the show.
Okay, now we're going to go, thank you, Ben, for that review, by the way. Your thoughts, your opinions, not the review. But now we will go to the 6th match on this card, which is a singles match, another singles match between Ricky Starks and Wheeler Yuta from the Blackpool Combat Club. It's John Moxley and Jim Ross that have joined the commentary table, by the way. It was Nigel McGuinness, Excalibur, and I think Taz initially, and then John Moxley and Jim Ross came in. Now it's a 4-man booth. It was. Yeah, they started the match. They had technical wrestling. Ricky Starks, I think, got a rope break. They mock slapped each other. They just had a slugfest. This was just a whole like brawl because Wheeler Yuta tried to got up in Ricky Starks' face when he just wanted to shake Bryan Danielson's hand off the dog collar match that they had on Collision a couple days ago or a few weeks ago, and now they wanted to settle that case here on WrestleDream. They had a slugfest. Ricky Starks roughed up Wheeler Yuta in the corner. Wheeler Yuta did some chops in the corner. They were brawling with each other. Ricky hit a body slam. He roughed up Yuta in the corner. He threw a chop. He did a rope walk while he was holding both of Wheeler Yuta's hands, and then he did like a single axe handle drop or something like that. I don't know if it's got a name. He just, like had his closed fist and like it's a single axe handle, looks like to me. He did a back suplex, which was nice for a 1 count. He smacked Yuta in the back. He gouged Yuta's eyes. He put him in the fireman's carry, but then Yuta rolled him up for a 2 count. Yuta did a crucifix pin for a 2 count. Ricky did a belly to belly with a release. He fired himself up. Yuta reversed a shoot off into the corner and then shot Ricky off into the corner. He charged at Ricky, but then Ricky kicked him away. Yuta countered a top rope move with a atomic drop. He hit an enziguri. He did a jumping elbow in the corner. Then he did a flying elbow for a 2 count. Ricky did a forearm. Yuta countered a clothesline with what looked like a modified Saito suplex. Cause he had him on. He had him on his back, was gonna drop him on his back, kind of like a Samoan drop. He was in like a T position, with Ricky's back facing the wall, and he's on his side. There's walls all over. Ricky's back was facing me, the viewer, and then Ricky was on his side as he was being carried, and then Yuta dropped him on his back, and then he put in, I think, a double wrist lock. Nigel McGuinness and John Moxley, I think that's what they call it, but I couldn't really hear them clearly since they were talking over each other. Ricky got a rope break, and then Big Bill came to ringside, and $50 fine for him just for being there. Ricky rolled up Yuta after the distraction, got a 2 count. He countered a second rope move with a tornado DDT for a 2 count. Yuta countered a Rochambeau with an arm drag. Ricky did a pop-up powerbomb for a 2 count. Got frustrated. He was throwing hammer and anvil elbows. Yuta trapped the arm on the last one, and then he was absorbing forearms, which I don't usually like, but I'll give it a pass in this case, because he's not doing it every time, unless he does it every time in his matches, but that's fine because I don't even watch his matches. He makes a brief comeback, and then Ricky Starks shuts it down with a lariat. Yuta shoved Ricky off the apron. Ricky fell onto Big Bill, so I guess he helped him in that way. Big Bill caught Yuta's plancha. Yuta escaped a choke slam, and then he shoved Big Bill into a a ring post. They got back in the ring. Yuta did some hammer and anvil elbows. Then went for the seatbelt pin, got a 2 count. Ricky blocked the German and pushed Yuta out the ring. He hit Yuta with a spear in the ring, and then he hit Rochambeau for the win. And you know, this is okay, minus Big Bill's involvement in this match. You know, it cooled. Yeah, it served its purpose. It did what it was meant to do. You know, it was simply just supposed to calm down the crowd of that match that they had, that match that they've just seen. You know, with like, Swerve and Hangman. You know, that certified banger. Honestly, it's a certified banger. Even though there were those, boo-boos here and there. This match gets Wrestling 7 and Logical 5. On to Ben for his review.
My thoughts on Ricky Starks versus Wheeler Yuta in a one-on-one match. I didn't care about this match at all. I'm just going to be completely honest. I love Ricky Starks' heel work, don't get me wrong. Ricky Starks paired with Big Bill. No, excuse me, I got to do the voice. Big Bill, or wherever the fuck his name is. Look, I'm not mad about Ricky Starks as a wrestler. His heel thing is working. Don't get me wrong. It is working. And, but hey, Big Bill's, his big guy, the guy who protects Ricky Starks, which is fine. That's fine. Great. At least it gives Big Bill something to do. At least he's out of the fucking firm. And I don't even know if the firm exists anymore because they've been fucking non-existent on television. Ethan Page has been non-existent. The Hardys have been non-existent. Essentially on TV. So, yeah, the firm is gone. We don't need to talk about that anymore. But Ricky Starks and Wheeler Yuta had a very, very decent match, in my honest opinion. I feel like they did not work together well in this match. I feel like there could have been a little bit more build for this match. I get Starks fought Danielson and stuff like that, so Ricky Starks and Bryan Danielson are feuding. I get that, but again, I did not care about this match at all. I was like, why was this on the show? This is not a dream match. This is not something I want to see. I would have accepted Starks versus Claudio, but Claudio was on the pre-show fighting Josh Barnett, which I don't have a problem with at all. I don't have a problem with it at all. No disrespect at all. But it's just, I feel like that match would have been a little bit more better than this match. But yeah, Ricky Starks won, and that's all y'all need to know. I gave this match a 7. Logic, probably a 3, because Big Bill got involved twice in this match. And Ricky Starks made Wheeler Yuta look like a geek in this match. Yeah, that's my thoughts about that match. So, yeah, not much I can say positively about this match, but I will not watch this match ever again because I do not want to see these two men wrestle again. I just don't. They don't work well in the ring together. Their styles are entirely different from each other. It's not something I want to see. So that's my thoughts on that match.